Bram Stoker's Dracula is what's known as an epistolary novel. That means that the story is told through a series of journals and letters written by the main characters. Epistolary novels can also include things like newspapers or magazine clippings or historical documents written about the events of the story after the fact. It was an extremely popular form at the time. A great number of novels in that era were written in the epistolary form, and it's still used occasionally today. We see it, for example, in things like Judy Blume's Dear Mr. Henshaw. Just one of the many things she has in common with Bram Stoker. That and their shared fashion sense. I think of the epistolary novel as being sort of the early precursor to the modern found footage horror movie, where the conceit is that you're watching film clips that were left behind by somebody after some sort of horrible event. The film clips and the documents all exist out there in the real world, and what we're reading or watching is somebody's attempt to string them together into a cohesive narrative. It's actually a little surprising to me that nobody's tried to do a found footage Dracula yet. You know how every found footage movie is dependent on that one character who never stops filming and puts the camera down, even though that would be the smartest thing to do? In Dracula, you know that would be the Texan. The only beef I have with Dracula's epistolary conceit is that we never actually get a document written by Dracula himself. Can you just imagine what it would be like to get the perspective of the villain of the piece firsthand? Dear Diary, Mr. Harker arrived today. He seems absolutely delectable. I may try to entice him to stick around for a bite to eat. Or maybe show him writing notes on an unsuccessful stand-up comedy routine. I know a lot of guys would think it's pretty sweet to have 3 brides, but you know what they're not thinking about? 3 mothers-in-law. Constantly reminding their daughters that they could have married that Henry Jekyll. He turned out to be a doctor. Mumsy, I'm a count! And they all think it's their turn to have you at the house for Thanksgiving. Bleh. Vlad Tepes, King of Haha, coming this fall to the CW.